I don't know, it says we're live. We're about to find out. All right, so how would you feel if you did not please others? So welcome again to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self-Care Challenge. My name is Robin Knott, and I'm your host of the channel and the founder of the energyhealingschool.com. Apologies, I'm getting distracted by little things showing up on the Zoom screen. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through my journaling process and share some real life examples. Journal in the best way that works for you. Some people will say that like they don't really know where to start, which is fair because sometimes there's just so much that goes on and we're not sure where we want to start, right? So I'll share with you my process, and again, do what works for you. I like to go a little deeper. I like to have hmm, I don't want to really say organization. It's not that organized, but the intention, right? That's the word I was looking for. Set certain intentions for each day to keep me focused. So as you know, self-care has become an acronym, right? So today's letter is A, and it stands for acceptance. Hopefully we're still alive. It looks like I'm blipping. Yeah, again, my apologies. So with the journal prompt, ask yourself the question. I write it out in my journal. How would you feel if you did not please others? And then wait for you to respond. Just like you were asking someone else the question, you would wait for them to respond. Wait for yourself to respond too, and write whatever comes up. It may or may not focus on the question. You may find other questions come about. You may find that your mind goes off somewhere into a to-do list. That's okay. Just ask yourself the question again. Allow the brain to clear out the fog, if you will, to get to the answer, the response, the thoughts, the perspective about the question at hand. So what came up for me, some of those real life examples said I would share was so my journal prompt asks about a feeling, right? How would you feel if you did not please others? And normally we talk about feelings or emotions on Tuesdays with the sacral chakra, right? Because the sacral chakra governs emotions. However, if you work with polar opposite chakras like I do, then third eye chakra is the polar opposite of the sacral chakra, right? So my perspective is sacral chakra looks at our human emotions, which are completely normal. Let's get back to that. Human emotions are normal, right? We just don't want to get stuck in the hamster wheel of them. So we go in deeper into our inner knowing, our intuition, our highest knowing, highest self, whichever language you like to use, which is governed by the third eye chakra. So in asking this question, there's that twofold, right? My humanness, when I don't please others, feels icky, right? There's those fears of rejection or abandonment or feeling not worthy, not good enough. However, if you are checking in the third eye chakra, if that energy is balanced and clear, then it's okay when we don't please others. We don't have to feel icky because it's not our responsibility anyways, right? So that's like through the eyes of our soul, if you will, through the eyes of Source, because our soul or Source already knows, the source of unconditional love, that it's not your job or responsibility to please others. Granted, we don't go out of our way, hopefully, to harm others, upset others, hurt others, displease it's not the goal or the point to be out there displeasing people or pleasing people at all. Third eye chakra energy looks within. It's about our self-awareness, right? So whatever the situation may be, because that matters too, right? And how we look at the question and how we look at what is pleasing or displeasing and who and in what way. But in general, when you think of people pleasing and you think of just whoever is around you and feeling that responsibility, like it's your job to make sure other people are happy and pleased with your decisions or pleased with choices that you make, that totally takes away from you. Totally takes away from you. What about what pleases you? What about what makes you happy? What about, again, your own self-care and your boundaries? What about you and all of that? And that also aligns with the third eye chakra energy. So let me check my journal. I know I went off on a slight tangent, but I think it was all pretty much saying similar to what I was writing. Mhm. So then acceptance, because my acronym for self-care is acceptance, and that is a big part of it. So when you're used to being a people pleaser, accepting that others may not always be pleased or be in a good mood or agree with the choices that you make and being okay with that, accepting that other people are going to be where they are and that it's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is you, right? More blips. Hope we're good. Your responsibility is you. Sometimes other people feel unhappy. Sometimes we feel unhappy, right? It's okay. It's normal. Normal in our human experience, depending on what's going on in our lives or what we are thinking about at the time, because we know that our minds sometimes can dictate what we feel as well, dictate our emotions or create those emotions, right? So if I'm purposely thinking about all the things that make me sad, someone else might be doing that too. It's a choice, but I have the free will and they have the free will, and it's my accountability to change my own thoughts to get myself out of that hamster wheel, and it's their responsibility to take themselves out of the hamster wheel, right? Part of that is that boundary. What's mine and what isn't? What is yours and what isn't? We can still choose to hold space for other people if we choose to, if it's within our boundaries, and be emotionally supportive without denying our own self-care to please someone else, right? Mhm. The enabling, that was something else I wrote about in my journal. It's not helpful to enable others in a way that keeps them down or quote unquote unable to care for themselves. So that is something I think we don't consider when it comes to people pleasing. We think we're doing a service, right? That automatic, or whether we even think about it, if it's just that automatic survival mode, but we think it's a good thing that we do something extra to try to please someone else. Like that's the whole focus outside of self to, I don't want to say manipulate necessarily in a bad way, but manipulate someone else's mood or emotions to make it better, right? That's enabling. That's not for you to do. Excuse me. And why that's important is because we don't want people to always rely on us to feel better. You wouldn't want to have to rely on someone else to always feel better, right? You want to know how to do that yourself. So enabling in a way that's supportive, that can teach or guide or just send love at a distance if you need to, is very different than enabling in a way that keeps people dependent on you. And that's a big one because in some ways it can feel nice. It can feel good as humans, right? To have people rely on us or lean on us, or that we feel that we are worthy and responsible, helpful. What are some other words you can think of? Drop them in the comments. Let me know. And I'm not saying it's a terrible thing. Again, we're not trying to say the heck with everybody, screw it. We won't help at all and we don't care. That's not one extreme to another. It's that balance in between. It's that harmony in between. It's the boundaries for both. That we all have free will and accountability. We have the right to choose for ourselves. We have the right to feel blah. We have the right to feel amazing. What we don't have the right to do is infringe on and try to dictate and control other people's. what we consider good, bad, or indifferent. It's not ours, right? So if you haven't already taken the Empathic Healers Masterclass, I would definitely encourage you to do that, because we cover all this with the boundaries and protecting your energy. We check in with our value systems, right? Our moral compass, to get a better idea and perspective of the whys we've been doing what we've been doing, and seeing where we can shift if we need to get into alignment with the source of unconditional love, right? Setting and maintaining healthier boundaries. What else? Oh, let me go over, because third eye chakra, right, is also in my acronym of best you in my system is observer. So it's also very different to be in a space to observe yourself and others in any situation. When we people please, we're not just observing, we're watching, we're aware of other people's feelings to then shift, do something in a way that's pleasing, right? Do you need me to do this today? Do you need me to do that in this moment? Do you need, right? We're waiting to make our next move for someone else. But being in that observer mode, we're just aware, we're just watching. And then we're staying in our own lane. We're observing ourselves too, right? Start to notice and be aware of some of those triggers. What triggers you to want to jump into that people pleasing mode? What do you notice, and what can help you set the boundary so that you're not? So if you've taken the 7-day chakra healing challenge, we went over some symptoms of what I call wonky energy in the third eye chakra, and some things you can do to clear and balance that energy. We won't go into major detail today, but a few things. When that energy is wonky, we're not maintaining those boundaries, right? Excuse me. But also you might experience headaches, blurred vision, sinus issues, depression, anxiety, confusion, fear, loneliness, lack of purpose. It's not that you lack purpose, but you might feel like you do, right? So journaling and being aware, observing, and then accepting, having that radical acceptance of it is as it is right now, but then we get to choose in every moment too, right? So just because I've accepted that this is what it is, it doesn't mean that I have to keep it forever. So I might notice in reflection and accept that I fell into the people pleasing mode again, and that's fine. I can accept that. I don't have to beat myself up for it. Just be like, throw it out the window. There goes my healing journey, right? People pleasing again. No, it's fine. Give yourself grace. No blame, shame, or guilt. Just be aware, have the acceptance. Try to stay into that observer mode so you can get to know yourself more, increasing that self-awareness, right? And some things that help support your third eye chakra are also healing hands or any type of energy healing that you may do. The color indigo and solfeggio frequency 852 hertz. One of my favorites. And as you are also journaling, use that phrase, I see. It's an observation, right? What do you see? Think of it as yourself, or when I see this happening, then I see that I do this, right? So you're really making those connections between a trigger moment and yourself. Let me peek real quick, because I did stream this live on YouTube. If there are any questions, my apologies. I have not checked because I have to use my phone to do it. Probably don't have to. I probably could use the computer, but then I think we would have a sound issue. Okay, I think we are good. So thank you for sharing your time and space with me. Again, you can share comments in the comment section. Let me know how the journaling process is going for you, or if you have any questions. Check out the energyhealingschool.com for the masterclass and the chakra healing challenge, and all the good things are there. And then meet me back here tomorrow. Don't forget, if you'd like, check the description as well. You can hop on a Zoom call with me and as we do this journaling process. Yeah, I think we're good. So have a wonderful day, evening.